Liverpool could be preparing for another defensive development as fresh reports suggest a potential deal involving one of their defenders is edging closer. With uncertainty already surrounding several members of Arne Slot's backline, a new twist has emerged that could see the Reds make a key decision ahead of the January transfer window. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool could be set for another defensive shakeup in January, with reports suggesting that young right-back Calvin Ramsay may be allowed to leave the club if a suitable offer arrives during the winter window. The 22-year-old has been the subject of growing interest following his recent outing in the EFL Cup defeat to Crystal Palace, where his performance reportedly caught the eye of both the Liverpool staff and potential suitors. Ramsay joined Liverpool in July 2022 as one of Scotland's brightest prospects, arriving from Aberdeen with a reputation for his composure and technical ability. However, his time at Anfield had been interrupted by injuries and loan spells that have stalled his progression. The fullback has spent much of the last 2 seasons out on loan with Bolton, Wigan and Kilmarnock, gaining valuable experience but still struggling to establish himself in the senior setup at Liverpool. That situation may now be coming to a crossroads, with Arne Slot focusing on maintaining a balance between experienced players and emerging talents. Ramsay's long-term prospects at the club appear increasingly uncertain. The defender's solid showing against Palace may have reignited outside interest, with Rangers among the sides reportedly monitoring his situation ahead of January. A source close to the situation explained, "Calvin Ramsay came out of the cold really at Liverpool to play in that Carabao Cup game against Crystal Palace. He was one of Liverpool's better performers. It's going to be hard for him to break inside the Liverpool team long term, and that's probably the big issue facing Calvin Ramsay." The competition for places at right back remains fierce, with Conor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong both seemingly ahead of Ramsay in the pecking order. His struggles for minutes have only intensified the conversation surrounding his future, especially as he looks to play regular first-team football to further his international ambitions with Scotland. He's been out on loan at Bolton, Wigan and Kilmarnock, and he's had a few injury problems as well which have set him back, the source added. But Liverpool could be open to offers for Ramsay in January, just to get him some first team minutes as well. He didn't do himself any harm with that performance against Crystal Palace, and that might bring a few clubs to the table for him in January. With Scotland edging closer to qualification for next summer's World Cup, Ramsay's situation takes on added importance. Regular football in the second half of the season could put him firmly in contention for a place in the national squad, a prospect that might tempt the player into seeking a move away from Anfield if the opportunity arises. Liverpool's defensive department as a whole could be set for further change, with uncertainty also surrounding the future of Andy Robertson. The Scotland captain's current deal expires at the end of the season, and sources indicate that talks over a new contract have made little progress. Robertson, a consistent performer under both Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot, has been a cornerstone of Liverpool's defensive success for years. However, with negotiations reportedly stalling, there is now a growing sense that the left-back could leave on a free transfer next summer if no agreement is reached. If both Ramsay and Robertson were to depart, it would mark a significant shift in Liverpool's Scottish contingent, one that has been a notable feature of the club's recent era. For Ramsay, in particular, the coming months could prove decisive. The January window may represent his best chance to secure the consistent game time he needs to reignite his career, whether that's in England, Scotland, or further afield. At 22, time remains firmly on his side. But with opportunities limited at Liverpool, the defender faces a defining decision in pursuit of his next step. In other news, Mohamed Salah's form has become a talking point once again, with former Liverpool midfielder Don Hutchison suggesting that Arne Slot may soon need to have an uncomfortable conversation about the Egyptian superstar's place in the team Salah's numbers remain respectable, 5 goals and 3 assists in 15 appearances so far this season. But his performances have been inconsistent. While flashes of brilliance have reminded fans of his world-class ability, stretches of subdued play have sparked questions over his sharpness and long-term role under Slot. "I think he played really well against Aston Villa," Hutchison told Sportscasting. "I thought that was the Mo Salah of old. I thought he was outstanding against Real Madrid. That was the Mo Salah. Then there was another little poor performance against Manchester City. But that wasn't just him. It was everyone apart from Dominic Szoboszlai and maybe Connor Bradley, who stood up to the task because he never gave in." Liverpool's 3-0 defeat to Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium marked one of their lowest points of the season so far, with Salah struggling to make his usual impact. Slot's side lacked cohesion and confidence, and the 33-year-old winger looked increasingly isolated in attack. For Hutchison, that inconsistency sums up where both the player and the team find themselves right now. "I think Salah's still got a lot to offer," he continued. "Salah will definitely score goals in a team that's playing well and has its confidence back. And maybe the African Cup of Nations will be great for him, to just wear that different shirt and go and play for his country, to take a bit of that stress away in a different environment." Salah's upcoming participation in the AFCON could serve as a timely reset, giving him a chance to rediscover his rhythm away from the Premier League spotlight. But Hutchison believes Slot and Liverpool's hierarchy will eventually need to make a key decision about how the forward fits into their evolving system. "Yeah, I think the uncomfortable conversation is how does he get in the Liverpool team going forward?" Hutchison said, "He signed up for 2 years, so you might as well keep him this season. However, if you get a big money offer in the summer, then Liverpool will have to think about it." While Salah's influence remains significant, his form dip has coincided with others in the squad pushing for more prominent roles. Arne Slot has rotated heavily in attack this season, with Hugo Ekitike impressing since his arrival and Cody Gakpo continuing to make strong contributions. The manager also has the likes of Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz to accommodate, both of whom are expected to play key roles in the months ahead. In that sense, Salah's temporary absence during the AFCON could help relieve the selection pressure, at least for a short time. It may also give Slot a clearer picture of how his forward line functions without its long-time talisman. Despite recent struggles, Slot has remained publicly supportive of his star winger. After benching Salah during a clash with Eintracht Frankfurt last month, the Dutchman insisted there was no cause for panic. "The last thing I worry about is Mo scoring goals again," Slot said. "The main thing is that he has always scored goals for Liverpool. He's done that his entire life, and I expect him to do that again in the upcoming weeks and months." For now, Salah remains central to Liverpool's ambitions. But with his contract winding down and new attacking stars emerging, questions about the next phase of his Anfield journey are becoming harder to avoid. The coming months could be defining, not just for Salah's future, but for how Arne Slot envisions the next chapter of Liverpool's attack. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.